this from the top section of the draw, top half of the draw. And you can see that Tian Hao Wei came through the battle of the left-handers. Mark Schwebler was in the final here of 2013, but beaten today by Tian Hao Wei. Lin Dan and Jonathan Christie will play for the right to meet either Jan or Jorgensen or Wang Qi. Of course, Jorgensen has been in the final for the last 2 years, won in 2014, beat the finalists last year. Always seems to play well here in Indonesia. Lin Dan, the two-time and reigning Olympic champion. The 18-year-old Jonathan Christie. Well, we keep saying that Lin Dan has won virtually everything there is to win in badminton. 2 Olympic gold medals, 2 Asian Games gold medals, 5 World Championship golds. But he's never won the Indonesian Open. He's never even been in the final. The best was a semi-final 12 years ago, 2004. He lost to the eventual champion, Taufik Hidayat. And 3 years ago, Taufik Hidayat said goodbye to international badminton. And in a retirement ceremony in this very stadium, he handed his racket to this young man, Jonathan Christie. A symbol of handing over the reins to the youngsters to follow where he had gone before. And my goodness, in that 3 years, hasn't Jonathan Christie improved? Well, over the last year. I mean, you look at him physically, difficult to believe that he's only 18 years of age. He's a very strong athlete, but he is up against one of the all-time greats. Jonathan Christie, born here in Jakarta. 19 in the world ranking. Rankings out earlier this afternoon. This is his 5th week now at a career high 19. 5'10", 179. Former world #1 in junior badminton against a former world #1 in senior badminton. Lin Dan, of course, 32-year-olds born in Longyan near Fuzhou. #3 in the world ranking at the moment, has been #1, of course, and he is currently #1 on the destination Dubai Super Series standings. Consolidated his place at #1 on those Super Series lists by his semi-final in Singapore. Well, this will be the 2nd time that these two players have met. The first time was in that Singapore Super Series, the last of the Super Series prior to this one. 2 straight games it was, only 34 minutes for that victory. Now, as far as Lin Dan is concerned, as we look at our court officials for this, in his first round, had to play against Zulfadli Zulkifli of Malaysia. He was a game down, dropped the opening game 16-21 before coming back 21-18, 21-16 in an hour and 10 minutes. For Jonathan Christie, well, he played against Su Jin Hao of Chinese Taipei. Fairly comfortable, 12-19. Well, Lin Dan only making his 7th appearance here at this event, and when you consider that 12 years ago He was a semi-finalist, and 12 years ago wasn't his first appearance either. Hasn't particularly been a supporter of this event.
On my right, Lin Dan, China. And on my left, Jonathan Christie, Indonesia. Laying down to serve, la ball, play.
Well, make no doubt about it. Jonathan Christie is a man who is now a serious threat to all the top players. Earlier this year, he reached the semi-final of the second Premier Super Series of the year. That was in Malaysia. Came through the qualifying to be a game and 16-11 up against the world champion, Chen Long. Didn't convert, but he proved to me in that steam that he is a serious threat.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's going to be interesting to see this match because we've seen Lin Dan on a number of occasions, and there's different issues of him, so to speak. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of playing mood he's in today. Because if he's in good playing mood, then he's really, really good in my opinion. If he's not that keen on playing, then it seems like everything's a little bit too slow and the opponent has a good chance. We saw that during the Thomas Cup lately, where he played a tough match in men's singles against France, against Lucas Clabout, and was struggling. And then later on in the tournament, he sort of kicked it up a gear and was his good old self. Slow start here.
And I've thought in a number of tournaments, it's almost as if he hasn't warmed up properly. I thought it yesterday against Zulkifli.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know whether at the age of 32 it just takes longer for the limbs to really warm up. Of course, I'm sure he does a proper warm-up in the practice area, but he does seem slow to get into matches nowadays.
Yeah.
Well, he's won 3 titles already this year, has Lin Dan. German Grand Prix gold, that was his 6th German Open title. Followed that up a week later with the All England, and that was his 6th All England.
That was going to go wide, that one Jonathan Christie put into the net.
And is that a sign of the nerves?
Yeah.
Possibly. Oh, good judgment. It's just wide.
Well, I didn't pay enough attention on the toss of the coin, so I didn't see who selected which half of the court. But I think often Lin Dan, when he plays with the drift in the first game, he's quite a slow starter. Sort of, I have a feeling that he prepares himself for the third game. I know it sounds strange, but sort of he's relying on his accuracy and his technical skills, and drifty conditions, they take away these advantages that Lin Dan has over all his opponents. So he's got to sort of adapt to the circumstances better than the other players in order to play his technical badminton.
Oh, that's clever. Yeah. Good rally from a youngster.
7-4.
That's the key to playing Lindan nowadays. I mean, you've got to be on the attack. You've got to look for the chances, the opportunities, and you've got to be able to create them yourself. Got to play sharp at the net. Play with deceptions.
Well, a year ago, Lindan was the #2 seed here. Lost in the very first round to Tommy Sugiyato.
Yeah. Was he coming off Australia? How did he do in Australia? No, he didn't play the final.
In Australia last year, he was beaten in the first round by Victor Axelsen.
That's right. That's exactly right. That was 2 not so good tournaments.
9-4.
But that rally, that's what you're talking about with Christie, isn't it?
Yeah. And Lindan has had trouble against physically strong players with speed, with a good attack. And then again, at the All England, he had not so much trouble. But he's in his lower speed right now.
4.
And it doesn't bother him too much for some reason.
Oh, that's perfect. Oh, it's a challenge here.
Yeah.
Well, I watched that one carefully. I thought that was in.
Yeah, me too.
But we are very high up in the stadium, aren't we?
But I would still be this one. I feel confident about. Let's see how it goes. But I would be willing to take a small bet on that one.
Oh, not our cup of tea again.
No.
Yeah. Fans getting involved, watching the giant screen, watching themselves, waiting for Hawkeye. Here it comes. Well, unsuccessful. So the mid-game interval.
11-4 interval.
Christie already scored more than half the points he got the last time the two players met. I really look forward to seeing the Olympics, how things are going to unfold. I've no doubt that we're going to see Lindan in a much better shape and more motivated to play. But so will all the other players. They will also be in a little bit better shape. They will perhaps be a little bit nervous, and they'll be even more nervous if they see that they're going to meet Lindan.
Oh, look at that.
And this is where Jonathan Christie can become a little bit better, in my opinion. I mean, that shot at the net, that was an okay shot, but it wasn't a good shot. Didn't put any pressure on Lindan and leaving him way too much time, and then all Lindan's small, very subtle deceptions come into play.
Lindan, something comes alive. That little deception again.
He was far away from that one, Jonathan Christie, almost half a step the wrong way. And there's a little deception on his backhand shots, but it's not really fooling anyone. It's like it's done a little bit too early in the shot.
Unbelievable. Well, how on earth did Lin Dan manage to control that return? That shuttle was so badly deflected off the top of the tape. Watch this. Look at that. How on earth did he even get it back? Oh, there's another net cord. Oh! Well, Jonathan Christie making the kill. Lin Dan just put his racket in the way and made contact. But it went long.
Yeah.
And had that landed in, that would have been perfectly legal. Played the shot.
Very much. Actually, I think Jonathan Christie's body touched the net. His right leg probably touched the net, perhaps after the shuttle had landed.
That's a lovely controlled smash. Sacrificing power for placement.
15, 7.
Yeah, good judgment.
When you see Jonathan Christie playing like this, 15-7, now 15-8 up against the two-time Olympic champion, it bewilders me how he wasn't selected as one of the 3 singles players for the Thomas Cup final.
Yeah.
Oh, an ace serve there. One can only assume there must have been an injury problem.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know? We don't know.
We don't really know. I asked someone and they said that it was a head-to-head selection that Christie had been beaten quite badly by Janne Jorgensen earlier on. They felt that Ginting was better suited to play the Danish players, and of course we don't know if that was wrong. We definitely know that it wasn't right.
Yeah.
That Ginting could do something against Janne Jorgensen. So but that's I mean, when you have choices and you don't win, you always question yourself a little bit.
There's a challenge here. Yes, and of course, if Ginting if he had won, then everybody would have said, what a marvellous selection.
Exactly,
You selectors, you coaches are in a no-win situation, really.
Yeah.
Well, he was standing right over it when he questioned and challenged the call. He must have been pretty certain it was long. And indeed it was.
Yeah, there's a saying that when you're winning, it's genius juggling a balloon for warm-up or all kinds of special things. And if you're losing, everybody questions every decision you make. And
Yeah.
I think that's right. We often go for spectacular reasons for victory and question all defeats. And
Yeah,
I think we should be careful in that.
yeah, very true. Oh, he's missed it. He's missed it. Court wide open.
compare Christie to Ginting, I think Christie is the more solid player, more reliable, more stable, whereas Ginting perhaps has a higher top level.
11-17.
Now, what happened when we were watching that again? Not sure.
Sin.
Yeah. Oh, dear me. Well, appears to have given up on this opening game, the Olympic champion.
Yeah, he's sort of trying out shots that if he's getting back in this match, he's going to need the shots for the first part of third game. We don't know whether he'll get back, though.
Wide and up come game point opportunities.
Ladies and gentlemen, on court number 2, it's double match number 24.
And another error from Lindan. Just 16 minutes for the opening game. Jonathan Christie. So I wonder what's going through the mind of the Olympic champion right now. I wouldn't be surprised actually, Steen, if, you know, for us mortals, you know, I'd sort of not be in panic mode, but I would be concerned with my performance if I played like that. Not the Olympic champion.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
He's got that inner confidence and that belief.
And I think if you won all the titles that Lindan has won, I mean, this is the Indonesia Open. It's some number of what he's participated in them, and I mean, couldn't really be bothered too much about this. He's playing and developing his game, but it's not one of the situations that motivates him the most. And then you can say, yeah, he's never won the Indonesia Open and so on. And I just think he just says, so what? I won so many other things.
Yeah. So
we'll see here the first 5-6 rallies. We'll see whether Lindan is really trying to turn this around. There's a number of situations here. The first thing is that Lindan comes out differently in sort of second gear. If he doesn't, then he still has a chance if Jonathan Christie gets a little bit nervous and doesn't really know how to convert.
Which was the case in Malaysia, wasn't it? We watched some of that match.
Yeah.
He wasn't only 16-11 up in that second game, having won the first against Chen Long. He was 18-14 up. And I think the whole closeness, he just tightened up completely, didn't he?
And it's different being 18-14 up against one of the very best players in the world and being 18-14 up against number 10 to 15 in the world. Also the psychology, you expect them to come up with something, and sometimes there is nothing to come up with. And that's hard to grasp sometimes, that, hey, they're not better than me. I'm playing better today than my opponent, even though he's number 1 in the world.
Yeah.
1-3.
Oh, that looked nervous to me.
Yeah, exactly. And for Christie on this side of the court here, close to the cameras, he's got to continue attacking. He's going to attack even more. He should have challenged that one at the net. That's well played. And as usual, Lindan is looking a little bit to the lights, talking a little bit to his coach, whether it was out or in and so on. Lindan is not in gear 2 here in this second game here. He's not in gear 2. This is winnable for Jonathan Christie. Now it's up to him to maintain his level from the first game.
Oh, it's a good smash.
Yeah,
Lindan.
it was a good smash.
Straight down the line. Forcing the error on the return.
It was a really good smash. He was almost on the back line. It wasn't the back line.
Yeah, there's another nervous-looking shot to me. And it's these little touch shots that really go first when you're nervous.
Yeah, and this is one of the areas where I don't think Jonathan Christie is quite as good yet.
Oh, that's good judgment.
Yeah.
Was just wrong. And then I like the fact that he got himself in position. He could have played it.
6-5.
Yeah, looks down at the line. Gets some spatial awareness. Yeah, that's very well judged. Oh. Magnificent. Well, he apologises. Well, that's what you call perfection.
And Xie Shuang is sort of lying over one of the commercial boards in order to give directions to Lindan. Looked really, really funny.
Yeah, such is the noise in Istora Stadium. Players can't hear what the coaches are advising. Yeah, I just sense a shift in momentum here.
Yeah. When Jonathan Christie isn't able to use the backcourt and sort of push his shots to the back line because of the drift, then it's really hard for him to play himself, to set himself up for good opportunities to attack Lindan. That service return there is I mean, it's the same every time. He gets in trouble on the third shot because of the deceptions from Lindan.
Oh, that's quick.
Yeah.
Great movement from Christie. Yeah, being sent in the wrong direction first. And after the backhand, gets behind it nicely.
Yeah. That's a good shot for him, that reverse slice to Lindan's short forehand. And that might be one of the keys in this second game, if he can use that a bit more. But I mean, I worry a little bit for him, Jonathan Christie, actually, because I mean he's only 18, but he's got a very good physical stature. But he's going to work awful hard for his points. So I hope we don't see him run into injuries like we've seen, for instance, Sonny Quincoro, who's been struggling with hamstring and back injuries over and over again.
Long and wide, in my opinion, although the sideline judge didn't make a call. That's an interesting point, Steen, because actually he's got the same sort of body shape as Sonny Quincoro.
Yeah.
Sonny Quincoro, of course, winning the Singapore Super Series event as a qualifier.
One of the significant things about Lindan is that he's almost never been injured.
Yeah.
I know he's taking some big breaks, but that's even more remarkable that when coming back from these breaks, he's been, I know he's had some smaller injuries, but never real setbacks.
Nothing major.
No.
Yeah.
And because of his playing style and his technical skills, so he's almost always controlling the matches.
I remember a commentator saying that recently about Roger Federer. Next thing I read in the newspapers, he was having knee surgery. Let's hope to goodness nothing happens to any player. I hate to see an athlete injured.
Hate to see a lawsuit for jinxing Lindan.
Oh, it's just wide. And Jonathan Christie has a 3-point advantage at the mid-game interval. It's so difficult to tell where the shuttle lands when we see from that overhead angle, isn't it? That's more like it. We can see that's wide.
And it's exactly those little extra steps there that are difficult for Lindan when he's playing in third gear. He can't really kick it up within the rally to second gear. But when he's playing in second gear and sort of in that correct pace, then he reaches a lot more of these difficult shots that requires just half an extra step.
The question in my mind, I understand everything you're saying, Steen, but the question in my mind is why on earth doesn't Lindan just step up a bit of a gear?
Yeah, it's.
I mean, he's here.
Yeah, it's hard to get the motivation. I think I witnessed it with Camilla Martin when she'd won the Worlds in '99, silver at the Olympics in 2000, and around 2001, 2002, it got really, really hard to motivate herself and for the tournaments that she'd been playing all her career. She started as 15-year-old on the tour. Lin Dan, at least, I think I remember him from when he was 17.
That's right.
Playing in China against Peter Rasmussen. So he's been here so many times. And I mean, it's hard to get into the right motivation for these tournaments. On the other hand, he has a big advantage come the big occasions like the Olympics, because that will be something that he enjoys and can get himself motivated for, where others might get a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
He just might get back to the thing that really gives him a kick.
It's going wide.
Yeah.
Well, the Olympic champion needs to be awfully careful here, because Jonathan Christie has opened up a 5-point cushion. And look at the poise of his movement as well. And I do like that with this Indonesian youngster.
And I think that was the important thing, that in the beginning of the second game, he wasn't really sure when is Lin Dan coming with something, when is he opening up. Now he knows that, hey, it's up to me to win it. I can actually win this. There's not going to come anything more than what he's shown so far.
Oh, that's delightful. Oh, this is extraordinary. Well, let's not forget, he was again 16-11 up against Chen Long. Got a bit more of a cushion here.
Yeah.
And I think he's a bit more experienced.
And he's got the support of the home crowd.
Yeah. Similar scenario. It will be a very different outcome. Oh, that's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Well, I'm sure this is what the youngster has dreamt about, an opportunity to play against Lin Dan in front of your home fans. If he was to record a victory as well, it'd be beyond the dreams. Clear. Oh, it's just long.
Yeah.
Oh, that is remarkable judgment from Jonathan Christie.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's really good judgment.
Istora Stadium erupts. A new star is on the horizon. Match point opportunities. He's outclassed Lin Dan today as the youngster. Oh, service fault called. Would you believe it? Would you believe it? new star is born. Jonathan Christie. He beats the two-time Olympic champion, Lin Dan, 21-12, 21-12 in just 35 minutes. Well, Lin Dan, not at his best, but in all honesty, he wasn't allowed to play his best. Jonathan Christie's movement today was superb, fluent around the court, controlled aggression, and his speed coming forward was magnificent. Look at that. The powerful legs, the landing, moving back to that base position, ready for the next one, should it be required. And Jonathan Christie books his place in the quarter-final once more. He was a quarter-finalist a year ago, having come through the qualifying, and he's in the quarter-final once more. He's beaten the five-time world champion, Lin Dan, 21-12, 21-12. So our next match the three-time former champion. Saina Nehwal, number 8 seed this year, up against the young Indonesian Fitriani. Saina Nehwal, not only three-time former champion, 4 consecutive finals between
Women's single match
2009
number 18. Please welcome